Hey y'all, Ham here. I'm going to try to secretly make this video. I'm at my gym right now. I'm not training, but other people are. I'm working the front desk right now. So I wanted to make this video on what it's like to date a narcissist, or a perceived narcissist, I should say. Maybe some signs, some symptoms, things to look out for. So throughout my dating history, I've definitely had my fair share of interesting men. And I just watched a couple videos on how to tell if someone's a narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, and they're all different, right? We kind of intertwine those three things. So, for instance, someone who's a psychopath, that's something you're born with. Something in your brain, your fight or flight response, just it wasn't made the way other people's is, and it's not something you can change. That's who you are. A lot of serial killers, criminals, and things like that, those people are considered psychopaths. Okay, my coach walked by. I don't want to see me doing this. Okay. A sociopath and a narcissist, those are people who, that's a learned behavior. So a lot of times it's the way you were raised, the environment you're in, can foster those kinds of behaviors. Sociopath, which is actually, I'm pretty convinced my friend who passed away was a sociopath. Very destructive, like they don't take no for an answer. They don't have empathy. All three of these, personality things don't have empathy. Okay, sorry, I'm looking again. Okay, they don't kind of understand that. Now, someone who's maybe narcissistic can be taught empathy or what that is. And there are different types of narcissists. I learned, like some are a new one. There's like four types. Narcissist is obviously someone who, obvious or not obvious, someone who is very obsessed with themselves, very vain, very, sorry, they're like blasting music. I'm like, you know me with my ability to focus. Destiny. So there's someone who, it's all about them essentially. We'll just leave it as a small definition. They don't, the people in their life, everything's like very vain. The people in their life are there to like hype them up. So like they may date someone who looks good because it makes them look good, or do something because it makes them look good or feel good. It's all about them. All three of these, narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, it's all like about me, and I can't see anything past that, and I can pretend, and they're very good at mimicking. So they'll see how people act sad, they'll see how people act angry, well, anger is a big thing, happy, whatever, and they'll mimic that. They'll learn how to mimic it to trick people. They're con artists, okay? Like the CEOs, like the people who are cutthroat, like the head of a mob boss, people like that, but not necessarily. So there are different types of narcissists. The one I learned about last night is a communal narcissist, someone who does a bunch of charity work and community service, but like they have to blast about it, like they have to get a lot of attention for it. Then there's someone who's like, oh, woe is me, like, oh, I could have been this great artist, but like no one recognized me. So the difference between, sometimes people might feel that way, but the difference might be like, well, maybe I have to try a little better. A narcissist would be like, it's the world's fault, not mine. Nothing's ever their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Other types of narcissists are just like your classic, like put you down, like mean. They're always their anger, like they have short tempers. They could be violent, like, but essentially it's all about them. I know I keep repeating myself. I'm trying to do this video now. It's like a bad time to do it. So anyway, so I've dated many narcissists different ways. One in particular was someone who was more like the woe is me type narcissist, and they all kind of have that. One was an extremely abusive. They generally are abusive. gaslighting, where they make you feel like you're crazy. So like, you'll say like, oh, I had strawberries for breakfast, and a week later you'll be like, oh, remember when I had strawberries for breakfast? I'm like, no, you didn't. You never told me that. You had bananas. And they make you question your own sanity, and they make you question yourself. So if you're in a relationship where you feel like you're getting to the point where like you need to record conversations, get out, because that's someone who like to play it back like, no, you said this, I'm telling you. They'll make you crazy. And that's what gaslighting is. Like, they make you feel like you're the crazy one. Very good manipulators, very good liars. It's all about them. They don't care. They can be taught empathy, but like, you know, I was just watching some videos on it last night too, which were very interesting, and it really sealed the deal in my mind that the people in my life, and they say a lot of it is like because of the way you were raised. So either your parents, not necessarily, but either your parents were very narcissistic, or they were lacking in some way. So either they were like my baby's the best, they do the best, da 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 da, but then like weren't there for you when you really needed them. But they were there cheering you on the sidelines because it made them look good. Maybe they just were like substance abusers, so they couldn't be there mentally or physically for like what you really needed. So you're trying to compensate in some way, if that makes sense. So you're trying to like fill that void. If that's what you see, eventually that's what you're going to mimic, and that's what you're going to be, or you're going to, you know, whatever. So dating a narcissist is like, just get out. If you feel like someone's doing that, like, you'll never change them. That's the thing. They'll give you these glimmers of hope that you think like, oh, something I say or something I do will change them. Yeah, maybe for like a minute, and that minute is probably fake, to be honest, and then done. Like, that's it. They're back to the way they were. So they will manipulate and act nice and kind of very charming to get what they want. They learn how to mimic behavior in order to manipulate the world around them. Huge manipulators. Very verbally abusive. Like, they want perfection, and it's all to satisfy their own needs and their own wants. And they don't even, I hate to say it like in a mean way, but they really, like, they don't have a heart. Like, they don't care. Like, so you're gonna go around thinking you're crazy because they're gaslighting you. You're never gonna be good enough. No matter what you do, it will never be good enough. You'll always be doing something wrong. And they'll make you believe that like, oh, like you could change them, or like something you could do could make them happy, but it's like, it's not the truth. They're lying. They're always lying. They don't care. They literally just don't care. Narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, they don't fucking care. You cannot change them. Get out. Some people don't want to leave, maybe for religious reasons, maybe for personal reasons, but like, honestly, find a way to walk away. You know what I'm saying? So if you find yourself in a situation like that, like, the best thing is for you to do is get talk therapy. Often those three personality types don't go to therapy unless they're like, something's like, oh, their spouse is leaving them. Like, someone, like, they'll leave whoever, they don't care, they'll break up with you, whatever. But if you leave them, oh, expect a nightmare, expect a messy divorce, expect child. Like, it's all about them and what makes them look good, and they'll be damned if you bruise their ego. They won't allow it. And it's all for like no reason at all. It's never coming from the heart. It's just like, it's coming from a very strange place of like self-satisfying, and it's very cold. It's not warm, and they're not warm people, and they lie, and they learn, like I said, they learn to manipulate behavior, and they learn to mimic behavior. It's scary. And they'll charm you to death in the beginning, and you know, they'll want you to change, but they won't change. They will not change. You'll think you're getting somewhere, but trust me, you're not. You are not. So the best thing to do is to just find a way to get out. yeah, you will drive yourself crazy. I was in some pretty bad situations, and a lot of times, like, you might date a narcissist because there were things in your past with your family or your parents that was lacking. You know, like maybe they were there for you for things that were like superficial, but not there for you for like what you really truly needed, you know? So then it might drive you to date someone who's that way. I'm trying to like get the notes from what I like was listening to last night and like things that I know. I always like do these videos without notes. I try to make it raw and like I'm actually having a conversation. And this freaking music, this 1980s playlist has me pretty distracted. So yeah, what else did I want to say about narcissists and like my experience? I don't want to get into depth about my experience, at least not in this video, because I don't want to badmouth anybody and I don't want to like stir the pot in any way, you know, but even friendships, like if you're with somebody who's like, you just go look up the symptoms, like, and I'll do another like short video about like more about narcissistic behavior and being with a narcissist. And it's funny because most people like them. And they'll be like, you're lying, like you're not, like they'll make you feel like the other people around them will make you feel crazy because like because they're not showing these, because they want to show well. It's all about the look, it's all about the image, you know what I mean? So it's a lot to look out for. But again, at the end of the day, you cannot change them, so you really just need to get out, and talk therapy is a really good idea for people in general, and for people who think they're in that situation. But you will never drag a narcissist, a sociopath, or a psychopath to a talk therapy unless it's like court ordered or like the police are dragging them there. I guarantee it. Or if something's going wrong in their life that's not making them look good, you know, and then like a therapist can like see through it, you know, like accidentally, but they don't just voluntarily go at all. They come across crazy, like they don't absorb information the way that we do, and they don't want you to know that they're absorbing information. Like they'll come across they're very controlling. They'll have like outbursts of anger. Outbursts of anger are a big thing. If they're not getting their way, they're like spoiled brats. Like if they're not getting their way, you'll get these outbursts of anger, like they throw tantrums to get their way, and then finally as like a normal person you're like, gee, all right, like have it, like I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's like you just want to stop the argument. So, yeah, that's a big one. Acting like a spoiled brat. So, are you hearing this music? I think it's Michael Jackson right now. Off of my feet now, babe. So just, yeah. I don't know if people are looking at me. So all those things are like very unhealthy for you to be around. Friendship, relationship, family member, like just find a way to get away. And there are so many like vibes, a brighter tomorrow. I don't know, like different states have different like free help for people. Oh, professor's here. Okay, have another minute. Free help for those of you who can't like afford therapy, but at least it's something. Get yourself involved with something. So be healthy, be happy, and really get away from people like that. They're not worth it. You're not going to change them, and it's really scary, and it's going to take everything out of you. You're going to get sick, like physically ill because of it, and just try your very best to be strong and callous over, and that's what happened to me. I'm like the strongest I've ever been because of these situations and these relationships. So honestly, it saved my life. I had to go through hell to survive this world, essentially. But anyway, bye. You look good today. I blow dried my hair really fast, and I'm working here at the school. And yeah.